All right, in this video, we're going to be making the 4 cams for our Automata box. We're going to make the pair cam, the eccentric, the Snell, and the regular hexagon cam. Now, when we did this in Inventor, we set up these ratios so that when we changed one, we could change the others and the parameters. I'm not sure exactly how to do that in onshape, so we're just going to make these the size that we need to fit into our Automata box. All right, so we're going to start with the pair cam. I'm already in my Automata box folder. So I'm going to create a document. I just call this cams. I'm going to click on the front, click sketch. And then I'm going to turn each of these off over here. I'm going to click on the front. And drag this over just a little bit. All right, with the pair cam, I'm going to start with a circle. I'm going to make my main circle 2 inches. So I just left clicked and drag and release. Type in 2 and enter. Now I want to put a circle on top up here that is half the size of this one. So I want it to be centered. So if I come over here to the center and go up, it gives me that dotted line. I left click, drag out, release, type in 1, and enter. Right now I need to put some lines on the side. So I'm going to come over here to the line function, or the line tool, and just draw a line over here to the side. Then I double click so that it releases. Come over, I'm just going to do another line over here. And if you don't double click, then it's just going to keep going. So double click. Now I come up here and I want to make these lines tangent to the circle. So come up here, I click on this menu, and I come down to tangent. It even has a picture. Click on the line, click on the top circle. I'm going to click on the line, click on the bottom circle. Come over to this side, click on this line, the top circle, click on the line, the bottom circle. All right, now we're using my trim tool. I trim off the tops of these lines. And I'll just go ahead and take these out just to clean it up. It's really not necessary, but for me, it just looks a little bit better. I'm going to click back over here on my circle. Come down here to the center, left click, slide out, click again. Then I want to make this 3/8 because that's the size that we made our camshaft. So 3 divided by 8, enter. All right, so now we've created the pair cam. Now we're going to do the eccentric, which is just going to be a circle. Then we're going to make this circle down here. And since we made our camshaft 3/8 of an inch, not 3/16, we'll use 3/8 for this dimension. And this hole will just be halfway between the center of the circle and the bottom. So I'm already on my circle. And I don't have to make this directly across here, but we'll go ahead. I'm going to drag it out. And I'm going to make this circle 3 inches. Then I'm going to come over here. When I move over the center of the circle, now I've got the dotted line, so I can center the hole that I'm going to cut in it. I left click, drag out, release. Again, this is going to be 3 divided by 8. Enter. Now I want the center of the circle to be halfway between here and here. Since this is a 3-inch circle, That means it's 1.5 inches. So I'll click on dimension. Slide over, and I can do 1.5 divided by 2. Or you can use a calculator, do 1.5 divided by 2 and get 0.75. Or the $1.50 divided by 2 is 75 cents. So I'm just going to put in 0.75, enter. Okay, so that's my eccentric cam. Now I want to do the Snell cam. I'm going to slide this up a little bit. I'm going to start out with 2 circles. Click on the circle right here. And drag out. I'm going to make my first circle 2 inches. And I'll come back in here to the center. Left click, drag out, left click again, make this one 3 inches. Now I'm going to use the line tool. I'm going to start here in the center. So I get this vertical line. When the outer circle turns yellow, I'm going to left click. Now I'm going to drag it all the way down to the bottom. All right, then I need to click again so it releases. Now I'm going to come over here to my arcs. And I'm going to do a 3-point arc. So I'm going to click on that. I'm going to click on the intersection of my inner circle and the line that I just drew. So I'll click there. Then I'm going to click the center of the outer circle at the bottom. And then I want to kind of drag it over. And click right there so we've got this nice curve. Now I want to click on the tangent function again. And I want this curve to be tangent with my inner circle. You can see that it moved a little bit. And I also will click on the curve again, the arc again, and click on this outer circle. So now it's tangent to both of those. I'm back over here to the circle. Click in the center, drag out. And this again is going to be 3 divided by 8. Enter. Use the trim tool again. My little pair of scissors up here. Click on that. Click on, and I'm just kind of getting rid of the stuff that actually I need to make my circle down here at the bottom, so I'm going to create my circle again. Make that 3 divided by 8. There we go. All right. Then our last one is this regular hexagon cam. So I'm going to come over here. And I can do the inscribed or the circumscribed polygon. Doesn't really matter. I'm going to do the circumscribed. Come over here, left click, drag out. Right now when I click again, see I can change my number of sides by dragging in or out. So I'm at 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to click. Now I want to dimension this, so I'm going to click on the dimension. I'm going to click on the center of the circle, the outside edge of the circle. Whoops, I'm sorry. I'm going to click on the center of the circle. Well, let me try again. Click on the center of the circle, the edge right there. Well, All right. There we go. And I want to make that, I'll say 1.5 inches. I'm going to come back over here to my circle. Click on the center, drag out, click again, and do my 3 divided by 8, enter. All right. So those are my 4 cams. I'm going to extrude, and I'm just going to extrude them 1/2 inch. And the nice thing when I do this, it already cuts out the center for me. It anticipates that, hey, they put that circle in there for a reason, so we'll go ahead and cut that out. And so now we've got our 4 cams. Now I'm going to click on the onshape. I'm going to click on my box. And I'm going to go ahead and put one of the cams on here. All right, so I'm going to click Insert. Come over here and click Other Documents. Recently opened. The cams were the last one I made, so they'll be at the very top. So I click there, and yes, I want to create a version in cams. And it's V1. I could change the name if I wanted to, but I don't need to. All right, I brought these in before it finished generating the preview, so I'm not getting a preview, so I'm just going to take this top cam, I left click, and I come over, left click again, and that's my pair cam. I'll click the OK. Now this one I want to fasten to the camshaft because I want it to turn when I turn the handle. So I'm going to click on Fasten. You can see this gives me the center of the camshaft. So I want the center of the camshaft to line up with the center of my cam. Now, I want the cam to line up with one of my holes right here. So what we're going to need to do is click on Offset. Because when I'm putting it on there, it doesn't give me a choice of where to put it. It's going to center it, or it's going to put it at one end or the other. So I just chose to have it centered. Now you can see it shows us the axis. The x-axis is going up and down. The y-axis goes this way, and the z-axis runs along the camshaft. So I want to offset it on the z-axis. Let's try 1 inch. Well, that gets me close, but that's still not quite lined up. I'm going to try 1.5 inch. And I could go back and check the dimensions of the top and see where I put the holes in the top so that I could line it up exactly without having to guess. But looks like we're lined up right there. Now, if I put 2 of these on here and I don't want them to be lined up exactly the same way, I can rotate my angle. Now, I want to rotate it around the z-axis. So I click Rotate About the Z. And then let's say I can change this 90 degrees. So that offsets at 90 degrees. Or I could go 180. I could set it offset it however many degrees that I wanted to. Right? So I'm going to click there. Rotate this around. If I grab the handle and turn it, that turns the cam with it.